Welcome to Straight Talk with Sandra Reish. Are you trying to master the game of life without success? There are secrets and strategies to living your best life. We'll share some of them with you on today's show. Take advantage of this series to become an expert at relationships. All relationships. It's time to live the life that you deserve to live. Now, here's your host, Sandra Reish.
Welcome to Straight Talk with Sandra Reish, a show about living your best life. So week after week, we look at different ways. It's 2 years now we're doing this, and wow, we've covered a lot of ground on how to live your best life. I've learned a lot along the way too. And so we talk often about psychological topics. We've talked about nutrition. Next week, we've got a huge nutrition show. You don't want to miss that, by the way. We've got the famous Dr. Greger coming back, and that's going to be amazing. But another part of life that is really important, and especially for our women listeners, is when you go into business, how do you make sure that people find you? Especially when you have something that's going to make this world a better place. And, you know, I meet so many people that have gifts to give to the world, and you might be one of those people listening right now, and I'm telling you, today is the day to stay with us, because I have a very, very important and exciting guest, because you may have a gift and you may have a service that could change people's lives in the world, but if nobody sees you, you can't get the gift out. So a lot of you will ask, how did I build my business and how did I get the word across? And definitely online presence these days is key. So let me tell you a little bit about my very exciting guest. When I heard about her, I wanted her on the show for you guys, but also for me. She sounds amazing. Lisa Meisels is an online visibility strategist I love that title, online visibility strategist. Strategy is important for women who feel a calling to transform lives and positively impact the planet. So there you go, a woman after my heart. Lisa really believes that your uniqueness is your brilliance, and I couldn't agree more. She wants to help you get clear on your message and value, take a stand for what you believe, and shine so brightly that you attract the people that have been waiting for you and dreaming of your services. That's magical. Her 25 plus years of professional experience in the corporate world, as well as her personal journey, can't wait to hear about that. Her online business and broadcasting skills as the hostess of Women Reconnecting radio show. Oh, radio show, got to hear about that. And the Empowered Living video show allow her to offer clients a unique combination of expertise and resources so her clients stand out, get seen, and become client magnets. Wow, there's a lot there. I have a lot of questions, but let me start by saying welcome to the show, Lisa. Thank you so much for coming on Straight Talk.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. This is going to be fun.
It really is. And now I'm reading the bio. I read it a while back and I forgot. So you have a radio show. So that's the first thing I want to know is, where is this radio show?
Well, I used to have a radio show. So the radio show was hosted on BBS Network, and I transitioned from radio into video because it was a challenge for me and I didn't want to do it. So we could talk about that. That's part of, like how I became seen.
Well, I definitely do want to talk about that. It's funny because you and I, when we started talking before the show, you were saying you would have preferred if we could see each other. So now it's all fitting together for me. So visual being very important. But I feel we have to build our cake a little bit here. So let's start by understanding a little bit. How did you get where you are today and into this business?
Yeah, well, I came from a healthcare background. So I was a dietitian nutritionist, and I worked mostly in administrative work during the last probably 15 years of my career, training, doing team facilitation, leadership training, mentoring interns, and, trying to take complicated processes and break them down into really super simple systems that my interns and my students could relate to. So bringing that online was interesting. I had no clue about online when I first started. I came onto the online world because things were changing in the healthcare environment, and this was about 2010 when I first came online. And I had no clue that there was even an online, that you could become a coach and do this thing. And being in the healthcare field, we are not used to promoting ourselves. That's not something we've ever done. So I didn't know anything about advertising, marketing, putting myself out there, talking about myself. None of that felt real comfortable. So it took me a while to learn and to become visible.
Wow. So you learned how to become visible, and then I guess you parlayed it into a business to help others to become visible. Is that right?
Yeah, so what happened was I struggled with I came online and did with a nutrition practice. And I tried to make that work because it was something that I always knew, and it was routine, and it wasn't, hard, and everybody wanted weight loss or nutrition, right? So I thought, oh, this will be easy. And it just never really connected with me because I was honestly bored with doing the nutrition thing. I didn't really want to do it, but I listened to everybody else who said, oh, but you've got so much credibility and this is what you know and you're so good at it. And I really had no clue, what I wanted to do. So I just started there, but I went through several launches that didn't really get the outcomes that I wanted. And I got exhausted. I got sick. I mean, all these signs, right, from the universe that were telling me, stop. Yeah. And finally, I just had to stop and listen. And when I came back to my business a couple months after being really sick, I just decided I was going to do something fun. I, didn't even know what it was. I just wanted to help people. I just wanted to do something that felt really good and in alignment with me and have fun. And so that's when I started my radio show. It was called Women Reconnecting. And I was interviewing spiritual entrepreneurs, women, and I loved it. I love interviewing people because you get to learn about not only the person, but with all their wisdom. So
that's great.
Yeah. So that's where I started. And then I got challenged to be on video, and I didn't want to be on video because I didn't like seeing my own self. And I knew it was the trend. I knew it was something that I needed to do and get comfortable with. So I just jumped in to do that about 2 years ago.
Wow. Okay. So, in your online visibility business, who do you typically work with? Who is your client? Who is your ideal client?
My ideal clients are women professionals that have branched out into coaching. So the women I work with are high achievers. They're very smart. They've done very well in their careers, but they're burnt out, or they've had a life event that has caused them to want to, teach others and make a bigger impact. And so they come online, and it's really hard to translate the skills that you have in your corporate career or your job to your online business. And so what happens is, women start doubting themselves, like, well, maybe I'm not made for this. Maybe I can't succeed. Maybe, this is not for me. And it's because they're not bringing all of their skills in. They're forgetting some of the skills that they've used and, were genius at. And so they're also losing confidence because they're not fully expressing themselves.
Okay, so so interesting because you talked about your business is serving basically women who are like you, because that's what happened to you. You got the universe, kicked in, and you felt quite burnt out and frustrated. And isn't that such a typical woman's problem? Because that happens to us a lot. We give and give and give, and we stop nourishing ourselves. And, we hear it. The show, we talk about psychological topics. Like I said, we talk about nutrition. It always comes back to the same thing, is if we don't give ourselves and take care of ourselves, there's a way to be successful without burning yourself out. Right, Lisa?
Yeah, and that's really important, because even when my clients come online and they're because they're high achievers, they continue to push themselves and go, because that's what feels like they're supposed to do. That's what they're used to doing. And so it's a huge shift to really slow down in order to speed up. And, I've heard that around, I've heard a lot of people say that it doesn't really make sense until it affects you and you think about it that way.
Yeah. Okay. So let's take an example. So if I called you up and I said, look, I'm one of those women. I have, successful business in the healthcare industry, and I want to branch out online. What does an online visibility strategist do for me exactly?
Well, what I do is I help people get super clear on their messaging, that it's something that feels in alignment with them, but that also connects to their dream client who they want to work with. And then we look at their past. We look at, what's happened in their life, what's brought them to the event that kind of was the turning point that made them go into business on their own. What happened? What challenges did they have in their past that they've had to overcome? It because these are things that we don't. When we think about who's your ideal audience, people tell you to look at the demographics, and you have to go much deeper, as you know, into the psychographic things and to the past experiences, because that's what brings us together. And so I help them combine all of those things into a message, into an audience that they're fully in love with, and that are attracted to them because of the certain past experiences that they've had. And then I also help them look at a business model that's going to help them get seen, get visible, and get the word out so that they can attract the tribe that they want and get in front of them.
That's very interesting. So what was interesting for me, the twist there that I don't hear often, is that you really look at something in their past that brought them to where they are today. And it's true, because that's probably where the magic is, right?
Yeah, that's what I found.
Yeah. So, when you talk about stepping up and standing out and being seen online, how is that different than just getting noticed online, or is there a difference?
Well, there is a difference, because if you don't come from the advertising or marketing world, or sales, you're not used to putting yourself out there. And usually the women that I work with are in the service, some sort of a service. They like to help people. They're in the service business. They've always been in the supportive mode, not the one that's been out in front really promoting themselves. And it's because of something that's happened in their past where they've been bullied as a child, or they've been called weird, or whatever it is, but they've always kind of wanted to blend in with the crowd and not stand out. And so they're not comfortable being seen for who they are. That's just, part of their trauma that needs to be healed. And part of the healing process is getting visible and really getting out there.
Okay. So that we definitely want them to stand out and step up and be seen online. Mm-hmm. And I notice also that you're saying it in a way that it's very important that you're seen for the right kind of client. It's not just to be seen, right? Right.
Yep, that's right. You want to attract the people to you that are connecting with you, not only with your words, but energetically at the heart level. And so energetically, we attract people by being ourselves. And so it's really an uncomfortable step to take. And that's why I say step up, because we really have to be ourselves and be comfortable with who we are. And I think a lot of people have hidden behind the professionalism and perfectionism and all those protective layers that we build up around us that makes us have an identity. And you've got to strip those away when you're in business by yourself in this solopreneur type of, coaching world, because in order to be authentic, you need to find out who you are. And that's part of the entrepreneurial journey, right? Is really self-discovery. So that's an important part.
Yeah, step one, find out who you are. That's really where we're at, where have you come from? Who are you? What have you got to offer? And to be clear on that packaging, right?
Yeah, and really be willing to show who you are, your personality, your foibles, the things that make you unique that we want to hide. Most of the time, that's not accepted in the corporate, field or in any, job. We're supposed to have a certain persona or a certain, reputation, or wear a certain, thing. And so we get to have the choice. And it's like, it's really digging into who you are and
Yep.
who you connect with and who you want to work with. And why are you different? Why are you different? And what is that about you that attracts the people that you want to work with?
Well said. So if you want to join in on this conversation, if you have a question, you can certainly call in. I'm sure Lisa would welcome the question at 1-866-472-5792. If you prefer to send an email, info@helpforanxietydepression.com, or a text at 514-796-4357. Don't go away, because when we come back, we're going to talk about creating a movement and even attracting what Lisa calls raving fans. I can't wait to hear about that. We'll be right back on Straight Talk with Sandra Reich.
Your life, your health, your network. You're listening to Voice America Health and Wellness.
Spa Munari is a full-service wellness day spa located at the heart of West Island, Quebec. Submerge yourself in beauty with one of our many treatments, specially catered to your needs. We offer facials, manicures, pedicures, hair removal, massages, body treatments, and so much more. Enjoy our ultimate relaxation experience with our spa packages. We offer a men's menu as well. Call us today to book your next appointment at 514-695-5040 or visit us on the web at spamunari.com. That's 514-695-5040 or spamunari.com.
Join the therapist who is affectionately known as the Couple Whisperer, Sandra Reich, on her famous couple retreats, and change your life forever. Sandra offers couple retreats in beautiful locations several times a year that can radically change your love life. Couples describe her retreats as life-changing. Regain that loving feeling, bring your intimacy to a new level, and rediscover excitement and joy. Find out more at helpforanxietydepression.com or call 514-796-4357. We all want love and safety. Now you can have it. Call 514-796-4357 or helpforanxietydepression.com.
Change your life forever with the latest cutting-edge products for home study treatment for anxiety, featuring the clinical director of the Montreal Center for Anxiety and Depression and host of Straight Talk, Sandra Reich. Sandra is joined by top therapist Georgia Dow in this revolutionary anxiety videos therapy series. Thousands of people have benefited from this scientifically proven treatment approach. Isn't it time you chose yourself? Visit anxiety-videos.com right now. That's anxiety-videos.com and change your life forever.
A fresh look at today's health. Voice America Health and Wellness.
You are listening to Straight Talk with Sandra Reich. To connect with the program today, please call 1-866-472-5792. Again, that's 1-866-472-5792. You may also send an email to info@helpforanxietydepression.com. Now, back to Straight Talk. Here's Sandra Reich.
So an interesting show today, finding out about how to get yourself seen online. I mean, that's the wave of the future, and the wave of now is online presence is a very big factor. And I know myself, I had to approach a strategist. There's no question to learn about this because, you know, I had a product and I had myself, but I didn't know how to get it out there. So I can't stress how important it is to work with someone like Lisa. Before I jump back into the questions, I do, as always, want to thank our sponsors, is Spa Munari. And remind people that if you are in Montreal and you call them at 514-695-5040 and you book an appointment for anything from a massage, a facial, a manicure, taking some time for yourself, which I'm sure Lisa would agree is a very big part of before you give out to the world, you got to take care of yourself first. If you mention that you listen to this show, Straight Talk with Sandra Reich, you will get 15% off in any service. So again, 514-695-5040, spamunari.com. Lisa, we talked before the commercial, I teased about the idea that you're going to talk to us about what it means to create a movement. I have no idea myself what that means. Creating a movement and attract raving fans. It sounds pretty cool. Sounds like a rock concert.
Yeah, well, it's you know, I believe that everybody has something within them that they want to shout out to the world. That's, especially the women that are coming online with that want to make a big impact in the world. They've got a story, but they've got a message. There's something in them that they want to bring people along with them through a journey. And I really believe that that's what we do when we are in business, is we take people through a journey, right? They meet us. There's, they hear about our story. They read our message, our brand message. They maybe work with us, and then they can progress with working with us. And then they, get the benefits of the results that they get through working with us. And then they tell other people. And that's kind of the journey, right? And so every person that has a business is in business for a reason. There's a big reason behind why they're doing what they're doing. And that big why is a lot of the times what people want to share with other people. And so creating a movement is proliferating your message. It's getting your word out about the importance of whatever you're teaching, how it's going to positively impact maybe the person, but maybe even the planet. And so getting that message out, creating the movement, is getting people behind you. Why is it important to you? Educating people on why this is so important and what's in it for them. You've heard that before, what's in it for them. And how to help them get the message out. So how to help the people who are helping you create that movement get the message out and get others on board. And then ways to spread the word about your message. And a lot of times, that our raving fans will do that for us. They love you so much and believe in what you're doing so much that they will shout it out to all of their friends and their family. They'll tell everybody about you and your business. And sometimes these are just your followers. Sometimes they haven't become even customers yet, but they follow you and they believe in you and they believe in your message. And those are the people that you want to bring along board with you to help you proliferate your message and get the word out. So it also helps to be massively visible, and visibility is definitely, a part of getting your word out. And there's a lot of ways to be visible. Visibility online is, you have to have an online presence these days to be in business, really. And so, that's creating a movement and building raving fans, being passionate and having people, again, connect at that heart level to your message, your mission, and why you're doing what you're doing. And everything behind that is really important. I kind of rambled there. Did I answer your question?
I think you did. And I think that what really stood out for me is that one of your angles that you teach clients is to almost get people who are in love with their services to do some of their marketing for them. And of course, I'm going to ask you, though, doesn't that, just to put a little controversy in this, or just to try to see how that would work, is I think many of us as women would feel like that we'd be soliciting people to do our dirty work. So how do you ask your raving fans to mention it? Like, how do you present that?
I don't think you do ask them. It's not something that you ask them. It's something that they do on their own because they believe in what you're saying. Because you've presented things so authentically that they believe in you. They want what you have. They want your energy. They love you. And so they're telling everybody about you.
Yeah, I get that. So you think that you feel that if people are excited about you, they're likely to spread the information out?
I believe that, yes.
Okay. So you said, because I guess that's one of the ones that I'm not sure that people do that. I don't know. I mean, once in a while I see on Facebook someone will say, like, does anyone know a good therapist, or does anyone know a good nutritionist? And then, yes, people are like writing it in droves. So I see what you're saying. But I don't know that I see people on their own writing, by the way, if anyone's in crisis, here's a good therapist. I don't see that. So there must be some sort of angle to get people to think in that way. Is that where you come in? Is that the email marketing, or where does that all play out?
Yeah, I don't believe in convincing anybody to work with you or to promote you. That's not where I'm coming from. It's more of an attraction and a connection, a relationship that you've built. And so that happens for instance, on Facebook, it might happen in a group where somebody's saying, do you know anybody that does, that does therapy? And somebody might say, oh, I worked with this, gal Sandra. She was amazing. Oh, really? What about Sandra? Oh, I've heard about Sandra, and then it just kind of goes on. And the person's like, oh, I better talk to the Sandra person. Right. And that happens it can happen in all, that's what social media is about. It's being social. It's really sharing. It's not in a icky, like conniving, convincing sort of way.
Yeah, I wanted to clear that up, because I definitely think, like, if it's like too much like people pushing it, it definitely can come across really quite poorly. And I think it's important that people hear that, because I know there's a lot of women listening to the show, and I know there's a lot of these women are entrepreneurs and have great ideas. And I do think that one of the secrets in my business success is that, to this day, I'll always tell people, like, I think this could be good for you, but like, I'm perfectly fine if you don't do it. Like, it's not a hard sell, because you got to believe in your product enough that you believe that it's interesting for someone if they're interested in you. And if they're not interested in you, that's okay, right?
Right, absolutely. There's so many millions of people. There are people, and you're only working with a handful of them at a time. And so not everybody's going to connect with you, and you really don't want to work with people that are not a good fit for you. It's energetically draining to work with somebody that you don't want to pull somebody's teeth, right, while you're trying to get them to change. That's not how it really works. So it has to be a good fit.
I think that's such an important point. We're going to take a break, but I think that I loved what you just said, and I want to say a few words on that. As sort of like someone who's been doing this a long time, like old, basically. I made mistakes early in my career, and I want to come back and talk about what you just said, which was brilliant, about energetically draining. So I think those mistakes, and I think you mentioning, is really of value to people starting out, because I think when you're starting, you just want clients, and you just feel like, I'll just take any client. And I think that's a huge mistake, and I'm so glad you brought it up. So when we come back, we'll get to that. We'll be right back. Straight Talk with Sandra Reish.
Your life, your health, your network. You're listening to Voice America Health and Wellness.
Change your life forever with the latest cutting-edge products for home study treatment for anxiety, featuring the clinical director of the Montreal Center for Anxiety and Depression and host of Straight Talk, Sandra Reish. Sandra is joined by top therapist Georgia Dow in this revolutionary anxiety videos therapy series. Thousands of people have benefited from this scientifically proven treatment approach. Isn't it time you chose yourself? Visit anxiety-videos.com right now. That's anxiety-videos.com and change your life forever.
Spa Munari is a full-service wellness day spa located at the heart of West Island, Quebec. Submerge yourself in beauty with one of our many treatments, specially catered to your needs. We offer facials, manicures, pedicures, hair removal, massages, body treatments, and so much more. Enjoy our ultimate relaxation experience with our spa packages. We offer a men's menu as well. Call us today to book your next appointment at 514-695-5040 or visit us on the web at spamunari.com. That's 514-695-5040 or spamunari.com.
Join the therapist who is affectionately known as the Couple Whisperer, Sandra Reish, on her famous couple retreats, and change your life forever. Sandra offers couple retreats in beautiful locations several times a year that can radically change your love life. Couples describe her retreats as life-changing. Regain that loving feeling, bring your intimacy to a new level, and rediscover excitement and joy. Find out more at helpforanxietydepression.com or call 514-796-4357. We all want love and safety. Now you can have it. Call 514-796-4357 or helpforanxietydepression.com.
Your life, your health, your network. This is Voice America Health and Wellness.
You are listening to Straight Talk with Sandra Reish. To connect with the program today, please call 1-866-472-5792. Again, that's 1-866-472-5792. You may also send an email to info@helpforanxietydepression.com. Now, back to Straight Talk. Here's Sandra Reish.
So we're back, and we left off on a very important point, and I think that it's something I want to get across also as well, join Lisa in this, is I think that when you're starting out in business, I think that you're hungry for clients. And Lisa started with a story of her own, almost burning out. And I just want to, go and bring that in with Lisa, and I'll let her talk a bit more about what it means to be energetically drained from taking on clients that are not consistent with your message. So I'll give a personal example, and Lisa, I'd love to hear one from you on what you see with your clients. But for me, for example, I'm very much in the business of empowering people, and if they want to learn and they want to make their lives better, I'm really a good fit for those people. But where I'm not a good fit is for the yes butters, as I call them, yes, but, yes, but. And I found in my career, the more people would say yes, but, and the more they would have excuses for not changing their life, I ended up trying even harder, which was really energetically very problematic, and really, the dangerous caretaking we talk a lot about on this show, and something in my career that's an area of specialty for me because it's been an issue in my own life. So when people don't want to get the message, for me to keep going out there and trying to convince them is really a terrible energy pull on myself. And it took me years to figure that out. I suspect that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, that is what I'm talking about. When I did my nutrition online, I was working with women that didn't really want to be healed. I had this great solution, and they didn't want to do the work. And so it was unrewarding to me, and it was not rewarding to them because they paid me really well. They wanted to, but subconsciously they didn't really want to change. And so it's like every time you're working with them, it's frustrating, and that's not a good place to be. I mean, we want to, I think when people first go into business, they want to help people so much. They want to help the people that don't want to be helped. And you can't start, well, you can. It doesn't work to start there, because those people that that are not ready to be helped yet are not ready to be helped yet.
Yeah.
And so in your messaging, it's really important to identify who it is that you are working with so that they can connect with you. And, so having words in there like who are ready to really helps. Making sure that people are willing to do the work and ready to do the work and, are at that level instead of, we all, I think as caretakers, we want to help anybody that needs to be helped. But if people don't want to be helped, it's not a good business model.
Yeah, I think you're so smart. So glad you are saying that. I think that money is one currency, and I think it's very important that people realize there's many currencies, because there have been many times in my career where I have felt like no matter how much you pay me, this is just not going to work for me. It took me a while to learn that there's just not enough money to make sense of it if, let's say, the frustration currency is too strong. So there are many currencies. I think that part of your message, Lisa, that I'm really getting is that finding meaning in what you're doing is a very important piece of this. And I could not agree more, because I think that's another currency. Is money's one, but going home at the end of the day and feeling like you made a difference and this felt good, that's a very valuable currency as well.
Oh, yeah. I think that, it's really important for us to feel fulfilled. That's why many of us leave our corporate jobs and go into business on our own, is because we want to feel fulfilled. We want to help people, but we also want to, be fulfilled in what we're doing and fill our soul up. And that doesn't work when you're, like I use the term pulling teeth, trying to convince people to come on over and let me help you. And if they don't want to, then you end up frustrated. And yeah, energetically it drains you, and it can cause illness and all these other things. So being fulfilled in your career, in your business, is so important, and we've got to keep recalibrating.
Yeah.
Because we lose sight, we lose focus of what really feels good. It's like there's all these things that we could be doing, and I just bring it back to, if it doesn't feel good, if it's not fun, if it energetically doesn't fill you up, then it's probably not a good fit for you. And so I love doing interviews. Not all people do, but that's something that I love doing. It's super easy for me. So what's easy for you that lights you up, that helps other people? That's,
right.
I think, how to really hone in on what it is that you should be doing in the world.
Yeah, so you're talking a little bit about a psychological concept that we call flow, is really feeling like when you're doing a time, you don't even notice the time. You don't notice anything. Like you don't want to tell people this, but you'd probably do it for free because, if it's a paid gig and not an interview, but you're just in the moment completely. That's really a wonderful feeling, right?
Yeah, that's a wonderful feeling. And imagine if we were all doing that, how positive that would be in our world.
We wouldn't see all those angry people on the highway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuck in traffic.
Okay,
yeah,
so
absolutely.
Lisa, you were very kind. I want to get this out here right now that you brought a gift for our listeners. So can you tell us about your gift, and then I'll tell people how they can get it?
Sure. That is the online visibility assessment, and it gives you it's a score. It's an assessment that you can take, like a little quiz, and you just rate yourself in each category, and then you can score it yourself, and it gives you examples of where you are and what you could be doing to get to the next level. So it kind of tells you if you're a beginner, if you're competent, or if you're a rock star online. And depending on which category you're in, there's ways that you could become more visible. So it's also just kind of, you could use it as a checklist, like, oh, I'm not doing that yet. Oh, I'm not doing that. So I think it's a really good resource.
It's a great resource, actually. When you sent it to me, I thought to myself, I haven't had a chance yet, but I'm definitely going to be doing it. So if you want to take advantage of the online visibility assessment, just go to straighttalksandarish.com/radio-show-gifts. Now, I do realize that's a mouthful, so let me make it a little easier. Go to straighttalksandarish.com, and at the top of the page, you'll see Radio Show Gifts. And if you just push on that, you'll see Lisa's gifts and a whole bunch of other amazing gifts that can, really profoundly change things now. Again, straighttalksandarish.com, and once you're on the site, Radio Show Gifts. Lisa, another thing I want to get out here, and I just see if we start this before the break, is the other things you do. So you help people with their message. I know on the break you were telling me something about email marketing and other services that you offer. What are these services, and what's involved?
Yeah, well, basically, what I do is I take people on a journey wherever they're at in their online business. So if they need to get clear on their message and their audience, we start there. If they're a little further ahead and they know who they work with, then we can start working on how to get out there online. I also help them with their copy, creating landing pages, with email marketing, communicating with their followers, on creating products and services that people want, and how to find out what they want, because a lot of times we know what they need because we're the expert, but it's not what people want. It's not what people are thinking in their mind. That's what I want. And so there's a big disconnect, and people get frustrated because they're not getting sales because they're not communicating in the right way. So it's really, I'm kind of like the market research queen. I do market research all the time, and I think it's really important to find out what your audience wants, because we can't give them what they want if we don't know what it is.
So do you do market research for your clients once they become a client and they try your things? You're the person who's going to be doing the market research to check for them, or do you teach them how to do it?
I teach them how to do that. I give them my questions, and we figure out who they should be looking at, how to communicate with them, where to find them, and then what to do with the information once they have that information.
Okay, so that's really important. And just so I'm clear, what is email marketing exactly?
So email marketing is, when you open your email and you have all these emails from people that you've subscribed to. Maybe you've downloaded a freebie, and it's something that you want, and they keep educating you and giving you, information, and sometimes you'll get an offer from them, and most every company has email marketing. So it's just a way of communicating with your customers or your prospects, people who are interested in you, your followers, your raving fans, and in giving them the information that they need to help them move along through their journey. So your customer, your client base, your followers could be followers for years without buying, but they're still your followers. They're still part of your tribe. They're not ready yet. And so through education, and you do education through things like, email marketing, Facebook posts or social media posts, and going live on video and things like podcasts like this, that's how you educate your followers. And some of them are ready to become buyers. And so you always want to show people how they can take the next step with you, in case they're interested, because it's a disservice to people if they are interested and you don't offer anything.
Okay, so sounds like you have quite a lot to offer people. So we're going to take a break, but when we come back, I certainly want to know some of the things you think women make errors. What areas are the errors being made in marketing themselves? And I also, to get you ready and everyone else, I want to know about what exciting things you have coming up, Lisa, because I bet you have tons of exciting stuff. I still haven't heard about the video show, so that too.
Okay.
We'll be right back with Straight Talk with Sandra Reish.
Opinions, options, answers. You're listening to Voice America Health and Wellness.
Join the therapist who is affectionately known as the Couple Whisperer, Sandra Reish, on her famous couple retreats, and change your life forever. Sandra offers couple retreats in beautiful locations several times a year that can radically change your love life. Couples describe her retreats as life-changing. Regain that loving feeling, bring your intimacy to a new level, and rediscover excitement and joy. Find out more at helpforanxietydepression.com or call 514-796-4357. We all want love and safety. Now you can have it. Call 514-796-4357 or helpforanxietydepression.com.
Spa Munari is a full-service wellness day spa located at the heart of West Island, Quebec. Submerge yourself in beauty with one of our many treatments, specially catered to your needs. We offer facials, manicures, pedicures, hair removal, massages, body treatments, and so much more. Enjoy our ultimate relaxation experience with our spa packages. We offer a men's menu as well. Call us today to book your next appointment at 514-695-5040 or visit us on the web at spamunari.com. That's 514-695-5040 or spamunari.com.
Change your life forever with the latest cutting-edge products for home study treatment for anxiety, featuring the clinical director of the Montreal Center for Anxiety and Depression and host of Straight Talk, Sandra Reish. Sandra is joined by top therapist Georgia Dow in this revolutionary anxiety videos therapy series. Thousands of people have benefited from this scientifically proven treatment approach. Isn't it time you chose yourself? Visit anxiety-videos.com right now. That's anxiety-videos.com and change your life forever.
You are listening to Straight Talk with Sandra Reish. To connect with the program today, please call 1-866-472-5792. Again, that's 1-866-472-5792. You may also send an email to info@helpforanxietydepression.com. Now, back to Straight Talk. Here's Sandra Reish.
Oh, the time has just flown by today talking to Lisa Mizell. An interesting lady, and she's doing some really important work getting people the visibility online that they need to get their very important services out. Now, Lisa, you told me that you have a video show. Now, I have a radio show, so I don't even know what a video show is. But first of all, what is it, and how do people, including me, follow you?
Well, thank you for asking. The video show is, I like to be different. I like to be a little edgy on the, innovative and not do the same things everybody else is doing. So I created a video show, and initially it was just on Facebook, and I would just post the show on Facebook. We would do it was Blab at the time, when Blab was still around. And at the end of last year, it got picked up by my now partners who are at Inspiration Unlimited e-magazine. And so they have a huge global following, and they put it out to, on their website. They produce it. It's professionally produced. And so the guests, they're mainly women entrepreneurs who come on, tell their story of struggle to success and how they now, help empower others through the gifts and the services that they have. And so they get to spotlight their business. They get a blog. Or an article written, and they also get a link. So, it's a win-win. They get to tell their story, and then the listeners get to understand that everybody has challenges that they go through. And it's how you cope with them and how you navigate through them that kind of give you your gifts if you look at them, if you choose to look at them that way. And so that's what the show is about, and it's over at iuemag.com, and I have all kinds of people talking about profit is not a dirty word, people talking about angels, people talking about self-love, anything, and it's lovely. And we've had, from January to July, we had over 40,000 viewers, which is good for just starting out on that platform.
That's amazing. I mean, it's actually an example of what you do is you put yourself out there, and you put yourself out there in a way that was so good that somebody found you. I didn't catch the website, which means other people didn't catch the website. So how do they find you?
The website, my partner's website is it's Inspiration Unlimited e-magazine. So it's iuemag.com. And it's under Inspiring Stories. And the whole premise of this, of my partner's website, is to share positive media, to share positive stories, because they feel like there's too much negativity and too much, violence and negative stuff that we see on the news. So it's just a different outlet for people who don't want to watch that stuff on the news to be inspired. So there's lots of inspiring stories on there.
That's amazing. That sounds like your partner is also very much consistent with your message.
Yes, yeah. It's been wonderful, and I am very blessed.
So, so first of all, give that website one more time.
Yeah, it's IUEM as in magazine, AG. So iuemag.com.
Okay, so, and people can follow your show there once they get to that site.
Yep.
Okay, I'm on the site right now, just checking. It would be under categories, I'm assuming, yes?
Yeah, it would be under the Inspiring Stories.
Okay, great. And what other things are coming up for you? Oh, there you are. Yes, I get to see you. Hi, Lisa. There you are. I see it. Profit is not a dirty word. Fantastic.
Yep.
What other exciting things are coming up for you?
Well, the really super thing that I'm really excited about is I'm planning a retreat, and the retreat is going to be transformational and mind-blowing, and I don't have all the details yet, but it's going to be, my first one is going to be in the Yosemite area, because that's where I live. I live by Yosemite, and probably at the adventure, the Zip Line and Adventure Ranch. But basically what it is going to be bringing women together that want to feel successful and fulfilled, and being able to use community and nature, connection with nature, and overcoming challenges as the medium that we're playing with there. So definitely out in nature, definitely some self-care, but it's really going inward. It's an inward journey, but it's also building community.
Sounds very exciting. So if people want to stay in touch with you beyond the video show and want to stay in touch to find out about this retreat, where should they go?
Well, if they sign up for that online visibility assessment, then they will get notified. They'll be on my email list, and they'll get notifications of anything exciting coming up like that. And right now I'm getting ready for my Black Friday sale, so that's going to be a super special offer. I'm really excited about bundling up a bunch of things for people. But yeah, I think
selling.
Pardon me?
Like, what are these bundles? Are these sales, like coaching bundles?
So the bundle is going to be consisting of called the Client Clarity and Attraction Bundle, and it consists of my Client Attraction 5-part video course and all of the worksheets and handouts that go with that, and a Create Your Brand Message. It's a brand message creator. It's a template. It's a workbook with a template that helps you create your message, and then a positioning statement script. So it kind of takes you through how to create your what do I do statement. That's going to be bundled up together, and for the first few people that sign up, they're going to get a private session with me.
Wow. Well, that's really quite the deal. So they get a gift, they get to sign up and follow you, and I really encourage people to do so as they're building their business. So, we're at that time, I can't believe it, but maybe the last thought I'll leave to you before I sign us off, which is, what is the biggest mistake women make when they start to go into business?
Oh gosh, there's so many, but I think one of the ones I can think of off the top of my head is they go and they try and follow people and be just like them, and and not make any waves. You can't do that. You've got to stand out. You've got to stand your ground. You've got to say what you believe, and be willing to be polarizing. Repel people that you don't want to work with, that you don't want. If you don't want negative people around you, then be around you if you're speaking your truth. So I think that thing is just really being true to your values and being who you are, and not trying to be somebody else because it's the right thing to do. The other thing I can say is a lot of this journey is knowing what you don't want in order to get to what you do want. So a lot of it looks like, that was a waste of time. That didn't get me anything. I don't want to do that. But those are the stepping stones to getting where you do want.
A great message, and I want to thank you. That's all the time we have left today. So thank you so much, Lisa, for joining us on Straight Talk.
You're welcome.
Really enjoyed talking to you. And I'd like to, again, thank our sponsor, Spa Munari, for helping make this show possible. And, of course, I'd like to thank all of you for listening to Straight Talk with Sandra Reich. I'd like to invite you all back next week. Very interesting show next week by the author of How Not to Die. I think we'd all like to know how not to die, and that's next week, not to be missed. If you're interested in our retreats, both mine and Lisa's, therapy, or any other media that was mentioned on this show or previous shows, check out helpforanxietydepression.com. Don't forget to receive your amazing free gifts. Go to straighttalksandareach.com. You can put the / radio gifts at the end of straighttalksandareach.com to receive today's gift and many others. Check out our Facebook as well, Straight Talk Sandra Reish, and you can leave a question for Lisa, myself, or anyone, and don't forget to like our page. Remember, you can hear this and any prior show as a podcast on my website, straighttalksandrareish.com, on the podcast app of your iPhone, and on iTunes under Straight Talk with Sandra Reish. And feel free to drop us a line anytime with a comment or question at info@helpforanxietydepression.com. If you're a professional and you're looking for keynote speakers or training on anxiety, depression, emotional regulation, or living a purposeful life, remember, I'm your source for evidence-based practice and education. My name is Sandra Reish, and I promise I'll help you learn to live your best life again next Thursday, same time, same channel. In the meanwhile, this is Straight Talk with Sandra Reish. Keep your eyes on the stars.
Thank you for listening to Straight Talk with Sandra Reish. We hope you've enjoyed today's show, and we'll tune in again next Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time on the Voice America Health and Wellness Channel. Now, go live your best life.